And we are back with the third segment of the GSMC Basketball Podcast presented by the GSMC Sports Network. Now, in this third segment, we are going to be talking about the drama around the Cavs right after they lost to the Boston Celtics. Literally, immediately after they lost, this drama and this information sort of unveiled. And we'll start with the first one. So, because there is a couple of things that's the problem. So, Donovan Mitchell has reportedly grown frustrated due to the... Hold on, I'm just adjusting it. There we go. So Donovan Mitchell has reportedly grown frustrated by some teammates' lack of maturity and focus. When your star player is upset at the rest of the team due to their immaturity, that's a very big problem. Like, how on earth can you be so immature? And define immaturity. Like, was it the fact that they weren't taking the playoffs seriously? Was it the fact that they weren't taking the season seriously? I don't know exactly the details behind that. But being upset to a team due to a lack of maturity was the same problem that Jimmy Butler had when he was on the Timberwolves. And that caused him to want to leave the Timberwolves and force a trade out due to their immaturity. And I'm sorry, but like, if you're in the NBA and you lack maturity, what is wrong with you? Like, I'm being so serious when I say that, and I'm usually not disrespectful towards NBA players, but what exactly is wrong with you? Like, your goal is to try and win. And you're telling me that you lack maturity in the locker room to want to win? Like, how is that? How does that work? That does not make any sense to me whatsoever. And especially when we're talking about grown men. I understand that this Cavs team is rather young and still not NBA vets, I guess you could say, or like not considered NBA veterans, but still the lack of maturity and the fact that they even lack maturity is stunning to me. Because when you're in the postseason, you gotta be focused. And if you're not focused, you're not gonna win, which is probably what he's really upset about. So, next on the list is the Lakers and the Nets. They already have trade offers ready for Donovan Mitchell, which is very good since the Nets really, really need that. Please don't mess this up. Please don't mess this up. The Nets have a history of doing god-awful trades and messing up the trades horribly. I mean, they've done that twice, like, in recent history. They traded for Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett, did not end up working out, and those picks ended up being Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. So they actually made the Celtics better with that trade. Then they trade for Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, and they also trade for James Harden. James Harden requests out after Kyrie and his little shenanigans off the court. And then we get Ben Simmons, and then Kyrie decides, I don't want to play for the Brooklyn Nets anymore. Bye-bye, and then requests a trade to Dallas, which then forces Kevin Durant to request a trade to Phoenix, blowing up the entire roster and leaving us with the worst member of the entire Big Three, Ben Simmons. So, fantastic. And as for the Lakers, I honestly think like the Lakers are just thrown in there simply because they're always thrown in there when we're talking about big-time free agents. It doesn't matter if it's Paul George, it doesn't matter if it's Kawhi, it doesn't matter if it's DeMarcus Cousins in his prime, it doesn't matter if it's Michael Jordan for all we care about. Like, they get all the superstar attention. Even Kyrie Irving. Like, there were talks that Kyrie Irving was going to get traded to the Lakers, and that never happened whatsoever. Not to mention DeJounte Murray or Trae Young. So, I think the Lakers are sort of just thrown in there, and they're not going to accept any kind of trade, but it is very interesting that immediately after the Cavs lose, we got teams already deciding to pursue Donovan Mitchell in this trade. Now, another piece of drama is that some members of the Cavs were a little bit frustrated with Jarrett Allen after he refused an injection to try and numb the pain and play through his rib injury. So, again, Jarrett, as a former Net, I really, really like Jarrett Allen, but given how he refused this, my opinion on him has sort of worsened. Simply because, like, he's just not that guy. Like, he's not the guy that I thought he was. And last year in the postseason when they lost, he said the lights were too bright, meaning that he was incredibly nervous, and his performance showed. And now that he just refused to take an injection to play in the that would help his team win, it seems like he doesn't want to play in the postseason, and he didn't want to help his team win, which is something that I just cannot stand. If you have an ability to play, if you have the ability to play the game and to help your team win, you gotta lace up and you gotta go out there and play for the sake of your team. Because not doing that is just going to leave a sour impression on not just your teammates, but the rest of your fans. Because now we're getting this confirmation, and it's like, Jarrett Allen could have played in this game, but he decided not to because he was a big scaredy cat. Like, you can't do that. Like, you simply cannot sit through and it's the same problem that I had with Ben Simmons when Ben Simmons was allegedly going to play in Game 4 and help the Brooklyn Nets win, and then right at the end, hold on, let me actually snap my fingers properly, right at the end of the, like right before Game 4 was going to start, he was ruled out. And that infuriated me to the bone. This infuriates me to the bone. Because how are you going to be a second option for your team and you don't even want to help them win a playoff series? That is unacceptable to me. And, like, I mean, if I was out there, if I was 7'1", put me in, coach. Unless my arm is broken, I don't care. Put me in. Like, that should be the mentality that everyone has. But no, they got to be spoiled. And I can't stand that. Now, there's more drama, surprisingly. Rival executives believe that the Cavs are going to have to choose between Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland, while the Cavs are also optimistic about securing Donovan Mitchell's contract extension. Now, rival executives expect Darius Garland's camp to potentially look for a new team if Mitchell remains on Cleveland, meaning that it looks like the two of them just aren't meshing properly. So if Donovan Mitchell stays on Cleveland, then they're going to lose Darius Garland. And honestly, good trade-off. If I were the Cavs, that's a good trade-off. Get Darius Garland out of here. Based off of his terrible performance in Game 5, get him out of here. And, like, Donovan Mitchell is clearly the better option between the two guards, but they're going to have to choose. And multiple players, including Donovan Mitchell, question J.B. Bickerstaff's coaching strategies and accountability measures throughout the season. And Bickerstaff's job is in jeopardy. The Cavs will make a decision in the coming days. That's all the drama that we have for the Cavs, and it's a lot of drama to unfold. So it's really just going to be surrounded on what Donovan Mitchell wants to do, what Darius Garland is going to do in response to what Donovan Mitchell wants to do, and what the Cavs want to do with their head coach. And honestly, it's going to be very, very interesting for this offseason. I think that the Cavs are going to try and pursue Donovan with that max, and Donovan Mitchell is going to take the max because obviously why wouldn't you take the max? And due to Donovan Mitchell taking the max, that is going to force Darius Garland out of Cleveland and thus opening up the trade blocks for other teams, which I'm not going to be surprised if the Lakers are going to pounce on that trade deal and try to get Darius Garland on the Lakers and see if he's going to be a better option for the team. Because quite frankly, I think the Lakers are sick of D'Lo. I know I'm sick of D'Lo. So I wouldn't be surprised if the rest of the Lakers roster is sick of that man. And again, this is going to all be decided once Donovan Mitchell makes his decision. But given how he doesn't like the lack of maturity on the team, maybe he's going to want out anyway. Unless the Cavs can do some serious changes in the roster, which I doubt. Like, I'm sorry, but the Cavs front office is horrible. Like, it's plain and simple. They failed to give LeBron help for what feels like thousands of years, and they've messed up They've messed up signings, they've messed up trades, they've messed up absolutely everything that you could, which ultimately drove LeBron out. So I think this is going to be no different for the Cavs. The Cavs are going to do Cavs things, and this is a simple Cavs team. The Cavs thing of having a terrible front office. And honestly, imagine if they choose Darius Garland over Donovan Mitchell. That would be absolutely hilarious. But regardless, we are out of time for this third segment. That's all the drama that I have to cover with the Cavs. And now we are going to go into the fourth segment where I talk about JJ Redick and the possibility of him being the new coach for the Lakers. So I will be right back after this short break.
For the best and latest podcasts available anywhere, go to the podcast app on your cell phone and type in GSMC to access free content-rich podcasts on health and wellness, book reviews, sports, entertainment, relationships, social media, movies, technology, finance, and even weird news. Subscribe and download the GSMC Podcast Network's family of shows, available everywhere podcasts are found.